Hey everyone, Temporal here, and today we are looking at the new feature that we have been given, which is dislikes are now automatically hidden. You cannot see how many dislikes something has unless you are the creator owner of the video. And this is a new feature that YouTube just rolled out. They did some testing on it, decided that, as we can see here, to reduce targeted dislike attacks and their impact on creators, especially on small creators, you'll no longer see a public dislike count on YouTube starting today. The dislike button is staying. So that could be a thing. Like, that could be a thing of, oh, hey, people are not going to get piled on the same way. There's not going to be. This could be a reaction to hate raids. Twitch is having their issue with hate raids, and that's getting lots of bad press, and oh, that's bad. So YouTube going, hey, we want to roll out features like that. I suspect that's probably not what's actually going on. I suspect that makes nice cover for what we're actually going to see, which is more of the, hey, big brands don't like it when their videos, when their advertisements get huge numbers of dislikes, when people review bomb things with the dislike button, the way that we've seen review bombing happen on Rotten Tomatoes, or when people don't like a company and they go, hey, this company has been scammy within the last month, 6 months, year, whatever. They don't like it. Companies that have earned the public's hatred at various points in time, like Comcast, companies like that, or, like the Star Wars movie, where it's like, oh, this Star Wars movie is terrible and betrays everything about Star Wars, and it gets just dislike bombed, that sort of thing. I suspect it has a lot more to do with big brands that YouTube would like to use their platform, continue to give their platform legitimacy, not liking it, because we do see that happen a lot. But let's take a look. We see this is YouTube's official statement. We may watch their video. Let's read an article first before we watch their video. You know what? We'll watch their video. Why not? That's their official stance. We'll take a look at why they're doing what they're doing. Take advantage of the dislike feature for the last time? No, they're not actually. I mean, you can dislike this video, and I approve. Someone disliked this video already. I approve of that, James. Doesn't matter to me, though. But they're not actually getting rid of the dislike button. I didn't want to make that too clickbaity, but they're getting rid of the dislike count. So you can dislike it, but you don't get any sense of what did anyone else like. You're kind of getting to be gaslit a bit more of, like, you have no perception now of what other people are actually thinking about something. You're only going to be able to see the like count, so you're going to be like, well, I guess people like this if they keep making this, that sort of thing. When before there might have been a little more of a, oh, phew, I'm not the only one. The world hasn't gone wild on me. I'm not the only one who thought this was garbage, that sort of thing, or who thought this was too pandering or too this or whatever. But we'll take a look at their video for a couple seconds here.
You may have seen a while back that YouTube announced it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video.
I did not see that. Clearly, I should have been paying more attention so I could have given more feedback.
Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by it.
If you dislike a video, the creator is the one you want to know that I dislike it. That's fine, James Daly. Like, it's fine to have a situation where, hey, you want the creator to know that you disliked it, though you probably don't want them to know that you specifically disliked it, or maybe you do. But I think a lot of people do like to know, wait, they're not the only one who thought that was wild. There is some bandwagoning herd mentality, yes, but there is also some people don't want to feel like they're being gaslit. Like, they don't want to feel like, I see a bunch of likes on that, but this movie was terrible. I see a bunch of likes on this, but this YouTube video was terrible. There's other people who feel the same way, right? I didn't just miss something. Like, and I don't think that's, I mean, bandwagoning generally isn't good. It's generally good to be able to come to your own conclusions. But, like, if we're going to have the like feature there invisible, why would the dislike one not be? It's like an upvote, downvote system. That's effectively what it is. So if you're going to have this, yes, this has likes, it should also have dislikes. It doesn't make sense to do one, not the other. And it's almost certainly actually here to protect big brands who don't like it when their things or get downvoted in mass, when things become the most disliked video in time, when things go up and it's like, oh, look at this, and it gets 10,000, 100,000 dislikes to 100 likes, that sort of thing. Let's bring back the star ratings and video responses. Okay.
By that, I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not,
Sure.
or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video
Do
that
tell us.
I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either.
Okay.
Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it.
Sure. I mean, it always was a scoreboard, though. Like, it always was the like button versus the dislike button. This isn't some new feature. What do you think? Again, we can move this over to the reviewing industry, because that's sort of what this is pulling it from, and go, it always was a, can you be a 5-star movie? Can you be a 10 out of 10 movie? Or are you going to be a 1 out of 10? Like, it's always been a scoreboard for how good something is. So, like, going like, it's a scoreboard. Well, yeah, and you're going to complain that people who aren't even watching it are disliking it because they dislike the person making it. And when we're talking about small, not famous people, that's fine. But we know that there's been things like, when Brie Larson started putting stuff up on YouTube and people really didn't like her, some groups really didn't like her when she did one of the movies with Disney, and her videos started getting huge numbers of dislikes. I don't know that I think that that's the end of the world. Like, yeah, it's not great that these people are putting dislikes without watching the videos, but it's like we're protecting big famous people and big powerful brands from people going, I don't like what you said, what you did, that sort of thing. I don't know about that. I mean, that's like, I'm not a fan of canceling, and I don't really go, oh, I'm definitely not a fan of canceling, but that they're saying, hey, we don't like you, that is in the speech territory. So I don't know about that one. The Gillette advertisement got 1.6 million dislikes. That's a better example, yes. And that's perfect, where you look at that and go, hey, like, yeah, that probably wasn't watched that many bajillion times. Not seriously watched. People that would have had to click on it, and a few seconds would have rolled, so it would have the view count. But people weren't seriously watching it that many times. They were giving it the dislike. But, like, that's probably reasonable. I mean, that should have been useful feedback to Gillette, as well as to everyone else of, no, people do not particularly like this way of being advertised too. This week in YouTube. This week in YouTube wants to be TV. There you go. Baby Shark has 14 million dislikes. Not unreasonable, to be honest. I don't know what that is. Think the main band wagons that caused this were YouTube rewinds? Okay.
Into something like a game with a visible scoreboard. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for.
Okay. But that's sort of like one of those. Okay, sure.
That's a big problem when half of YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice.
Well, you're not taking away their voice by people saying they don't like something. Like, if people are saying they don't like something and they want to see less of it, and a lot of people are saying they don't like something and they want to see less of it, that's actually them getting to exercise their voice. And that's also how the markets in general work. If more people are watching something, liking something, and YouTube's not actually using their like or dislike buttons very heavily for steering traffic, by the way, they're putting much, much more emphasis on click-through rate and watch percentage, way more emphasis than they are on like and dislike. Those are like minor, if much of anything. But like, even this illusion of viewers having a voice and having their ability to be like, yes, we like something, we want to see more of it, we don't like something, we want to see less of it, is being taken away here. And I think that's scummy, and like, this kind of looks like a scummy smile here, to be perfectly honest. Like, yeah, I'm tongue in cheek saying this, don't notice it. But hey, you really wish there was a downvote button on LinkedIn. There you go. There you go. But this could have been an awkward pause. That's not fair of me. YouTube's mission is to give people a voice, right? This is taking away the voice of the actual people and giving it only to the creators, we could say, but the creators, like really the big brands, who can force themselves to be popular and go, no, 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 and then cause people to go, oh, people do like this Gillette advertisement. No, no, they don't.
So earlier in 2021, YouTube experimented with making the public dislike count private to see if it would help reduce these coordinated dislike attacks across the platform. And after analysis, they did see a reduction.
Of course, because your dislikes aren't doing anything anymore. You're not getting to warn people to watch the video of, hey, this is a bad video, and you're not getting to feel like you have any degree of, hey, less people are going to watch this video, and less of these videos are going to be made because people are seeing it and therefore won't watch it, and therefore the creator, because they're not getting the watch time, won't make more videos like this. Like, that's very much taking away the voice of the viewers.
So, the update from YouTube is that the dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private. You can still dislike videos, and that action will be used to tune your own recommendations.
It's worthless. Disliking videos is basically worthless, guys. If you don't want videos from someone to show up in your feed, don't click into those videos. Seriously. Eventually they'll go away, but clicking into it to go dislike it, waste of your time. Because it's going to go, oh, your click-through rate went up. And based on the click-through rate going up, it's going to recommend it more.
But you won't be able to see the dislike.
Imagine if Justin Bieber did a cover of Baby Shark. How many dislikes could they get while using a Gillette razor? There you go.
Only the creator can find it on the back end if they want. Now, a few common questions we saw from the initial experiment. First, without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of had this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos...
That's because it's how you guys designed it, though. Like, you guys designed it where you're not seeing a video's like dislike count before you're clicking into it or anything like that. The design, like, this isn't up on the viewers. This is because the design has moved to such a place of it's all about click-through rate. It's all about how clickbaity is your thumbnail. Like, that's what it's about. And finding this sweet spot of, like, well, it's not quite bad clickbait. Like, it's clickbait, but it's not quite bad clickbait that people hate you for it and, like, actively hate. You sort of answered the question that you baited in here. It's finding that sweet line is what makes someone successful on YouTube. And I experimented with trying to find it. Like, people could look at this video and go, no, Temporal, we hate this. You suggested in your thumbnail that they're getting rid of the like button, and they're actually just getting rid of it for all practical purposes. But you lied to us, and that's fine, and I could get punished for that, and if people go, I don't want to watch more of Temporal stuff, and that could happen, but this is the sweet line that you're trying to ride as a creator to go, hey, don't want to be like, do want to address what's in the thumbnail, do want to cover it, but also, has to be interesting enough to get clicked on in a sea of other things. You bet this video itself has a lot of dislikes. I'm sure it does. Would be a good idea to put a checkpoint where it starts showing when it gets this amount of dislikes to show if it's worth watching, and it can stop bandwagons. Okay. I don't know if that would work. I think because they'd probably want to put multiple checkpoints, or maybe once it hits that check. Oh, you're saying just one checkpoint? Yeah, I mean, things might get bandwagoned to that one checkpoint, but if you set that one checkpoint into place, they'd probably stop adding more dislikes after that. I agree.
In the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not.
Right, but that's because people click into videos before they can see the like or dislike count. And that is how YouTube has designed their platform. That is a UI decision, not a user decision.
In other words, it didn't really matter if a video had a lot of dislikes.
And the dislikes also aren't affecting the algorithm very much. So again, not doing much.
The dislike count on the back end, how's that any different? They can see it if they look for it inside Studio Analytics.
Oh, I'm not even going to see it.
But overall, it's
in the standard spot.
Likely to cause stress and embarrassment if the count isn't visible to the public. And one more common question, is this because YouTube Rewind got lots of dislikes?
Yes.
No. Although there are some teams internally who have learned the hard way what it feels like to get lots of dislikes. Now, this again is about protecting...
It's not actually all about that, though, because it's much more interesting to YouTube as a company or as a sub-company within Alphabet. What can they do to attract mainstream brands, to attract celebrities, that sort of thing, to their platform? Because There's money there. They want the engagement from that, especially as they're trying to turn themselves more into the TV replacement and less into the, hey, look what these people are doing in their spare time with this, internet. Like it's become the TV replacement, that sort of thing.
All creators
Rather than, oh, look, kids in their backyard are coming up with videos type stuff. We're long past that.
and making sure they have a chance to succeed and feel safe in doing so. All right, so
That's safe word. That's safe word. Not the fun kind of safe word.
that's the update. I hope it doesn't cause too much frustration. Honestly, I think you're going to get used to it pretty quickly. And keep in mind, other platforms don't even have a dislike button. So
Right, and other platforms are also getting rid of their comment section. Again, we're doing this like, no, you don't get to know what other people over the internet are reacting to a news article. If they don't like it, we're not going to have comments anymore. Yahoo made some big news when Yahoo was a place that was an aggregator. For those that don't know, I know boomer showing here, but Yahoo News is like an aggregator of other news sites effectively, and they, last year was it, got rid of their comment section. And we've seen a lot of news sites get rid of their comment section because they don't like it. We could blast Kotaku and how they heavily in the past, probably still do, I don't know, moderate their comments and get rid of literally anything that disagrees with them. Not like, oh, it's dangerous or violent, just, oh, it disagrees with them or makes the writer look bad or calls the writer out for not contacting the subject, reaching out for contact for the subject of their work, not following journalistic standards, these sorts of things. They all get called out for it. Or things get fact checked in comments, and sites don't like this. So they've, by and large, many of them have gotten rid of comments. You guys know that one of the sites I do use when I'm bringing you video game type news is GameStop here, and one of the reasons I do that is they actually have a comment section. Now, they've started recently on some of the articles disabling comments, and I don't particularly like that, but I'm in general not a fan of what I'm seeing here. We're getting rid of dislikes. This is further down the trend of we're getting rid of comments on sites like these, and that's not really cool to be like, hey, we're going to not let you understand what other people are thinking. We're going to not let you be able to talk to other people who are also going, wait, I'm being propagandized. Wait, people don't actually like this Gillette commercial. Wait, do people actually enjoy whatever this is that's going on here? And when they can't communicate with each other, it's a lot easier to think, if the content is pro this, pro that, anti this, anti that, that, oh, a lot of people must believe that way. Like that makes people less connected and sort of goes against the value system that these companies pretended to support or pretend to support of, oh, we want everyone to be interconnected and be able to communicate better. Not really. Dislikes hurt people's feelings. That's true, Blah. That's true. Aiden Jackson says, hi, Temporal, loving the collegiate content. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying that. You're going to get used to it pretty quickly. I mean, does a prison inmate get used to prison? Yes, it's still prison. That's true. There you go, Nardstorm. Most online newspaper sites, the comments are better than the article. That's true. And it's unfortunately true in part because reporting is underfunded, but it's sort of, in part, we can get into why that's happened. In part, that's because reporting is underfunded. But yeah, most people have realized that, like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. Or you can go to the comments and you can pretty quickly find one of the first 3 comments disputes some huge piece of the article. And then if you actually go do research and go check, not just trust the comment, you'll discover, wait, oh, that's right. How does this person know this? And this person who did the article, I'm sure they spent, their hour, 4 hours, whatever, writing their article, but they didn't, like, how did they not find this when this commenter knew this? They didn't go deep enough. And again, we've seen that in the video gaming world with Overwatch, because we cover a lot of Overwatch in this channel, with the Ellie fiasco, where all of the video game journalism websites went and covered it and went, oh yes, this shows how misogynistic the community is because they don't believe that a woman could be on one of the best contenders teams. They don't believe she could be that good, when that was not at all what was happening. People were going, who is she? Like, we know who's in the top 500. There's only 500 of them. Less. Blah would tell you there's about 36 of them. And people don't just show up out of nowhere into not just the top 500, but the top 10 without people knowing who they are. They're going to have established themselves either in previous seasons in the top 500, in the tier 3 scene, and the tier 3 coaches didn't know who she was. The ladder didn't know who she was. The players were talking to each other and going, have you played with her? I haven't played with her. What is this? If she wasn't using voice before, that's fine, but what's her other account name, because this account came out of nowhere? But again, that's just an example I use because we're in the Overwatch scene and it got blatantly misreported, like blatantly. And of course, not even like experts, but casual members of the community were able to go and were in the comments going, what the heck? This is not accurate reporting. But that's how it works. The reporting isn't very good, and the comment section quickly becomes one of the best places because of that, as long as it's not moderated to be a delete anyone who disagrees with us type place, which does happen more and more if they leave comments on at all. Hi, by the way. Top 500 is such a small place. It's true. It's true. Prediction: YouTube going to remove or severely hamper comments within 5 years to protect creators' mental health? They already do a lot to comments, but yeah, it'll probably get tightened down on. I expect it will. Yeah, the 36 people that make up the top 500 are a small community, right? And it is more than 36, maybe. But the point is, you don't just show up there having no one in that community know who you are, because even outside of that community, that top 500 games aren't all top 500 players. You have also GM players in there, and GM is less than 0.5% of the population. It's like, again, if this Ellie account had been hanging out in GM before, no problem, but that wasn't what was going on. And again, I just used that as an example. We could use other examples. In EU, it's just well, a little more than that, but yeah. Okay, so YouTube is changing its dislike button functionality in an effort to curb online harassment. While the dislike button will remain, the dislike count will be hidden to everyone but the content creator. Does this give us anything new? While the move does seem likely to protect small content creators from harassment, it also means larger online presences, like YouTube itself, won't have a publicly viewable gauge of fan sentiment. Ding, ding, ding! The winner. YouTube's own YouTube Rewind 2018 video from 2018 is among the most disliked videos ever at 19 million. Most recently, Nintendo Switch's online expansion pass overview received 173,000 dislikes. Right, and companies like Nintendo don't like it when that happens. And you want companies like Nintendo to continue to push things directly to your platform, because that's good for you if things come out on YouTube rather than commercials on TV, rather than them pushing them through their own platforms directly to Switches, building their own infrastructure, that sort of thing. But also, you want them to be willing to spend ad money on you. And they're not going to feel like it's a good place to spend ad money if they've been bitten there before when they pushed content. Compared to just 18,000 likes, as a way of fans expressing their apparent displeasure with its price. Right, and this is a thing, like, fans and people in general are feeling like they have less and less ways to have any level of autonomy, any level of, like, communicating that they don't like something, so downvote brigades have become one of the few ways they feel like they have left. Review bombing. It doesn't actually do very much, it really doesn't. Review bombing does not, for example, have much impact on how much a game sells, but it's something that they feel like they have left. Don't take it away from them, and now YouTube's doing that here with videos. Oh well. Didn't know that about top 500. Makes sense? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you guys another. Oh, we can read the comments here. I don't think we're going to see anything too interesting. But if you guys have any more comments yourself, throw them up there. We'll do a quick catch up, and then we'll do probably a wrap up here, because there's not a ton to cover. I think I gave my general sentiments. We saw what the take was, and
2042's launch is so close, and yet there's something oddly missing from the flurry of.
That's the next article. Okay. Just type dislike in the comment section. Take 2 seconds more. Right, but that's not going to be as popular. It's not. It leaves your name on there for everyone to see. It's not going to be as popular as disliking it. Small developers like Activision Blizzard and EA, poor them. Actually, you know what? If you all want to type dislike in this video's comment section, that's not going to bother me at all. I'm kidding. It's another engagement thing. You can do it. I don't care. You can type whatever you want in the comments. But hey, small developers like Activision Blizzard and EA, poor them. Yeah. I mean, we don't need another. This is very similar to when EA had the most downvoted Reddit post of all time. Now, Reddit's not going anywhere with theirs, but Reddit's upvote, downvote has its own problems with how it hides content. Dislikes here don't do anything. Okay. James says, if I was an Overwatch player who wanted to improve my skills so I could make 6 YouTube montages that got many likes and only a few dislikes, do you know of any Overwatch coaches? It's funny that you should ask, James. We actually do Overwatch coaching on this channel here. Best way to get it is to join my Discord in the description below. And in there, you can see rates. Sometimes I'll do freebies, but not very many of those anymore. You can see what my rates look like for coaching. You can check out the library of coaching we've done for other people to get a feel for what you're going to get there. You can also join our teams. We've got some scrim teams that go out there. Sometimes they scrim each other. Sometimes they go out and 6-stack on ladder, have fun. We've seen those range from mostly silver to masters, I'd say. Sometimes we get a little bit of bronze going on there, but those are fun, and those are something that you can check out, see the schedule, see if that's something you want to do. Oh wow, that's great news. There you go. I'm sorry to hear that, Nordstrom, but I totally get it. Figure out better things to do. Figure out better things to do with your time. That absolutely makes sense. So best of luck to you. Hopefully you'll stick around as we cover other things, but hey. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. If you guys are enjoying this content, feel free to drop a like. You can still see those. And if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe. We cover news like this. We cover news in general, more in the video game focused world. We cover Overwatch stuff. We cover collegiate Overwatch stuff. We do other video gaming type stuff. We react to guides, things like that. We do the Reddit takedowns, as they've been called by other people. We do some fun stuff here. Okay, thanks guys.